The quarter-final draw has been made for the Champions League, and it actually looks like a really good, fun draw for everybody involved. Guest is Tink, my cat. She's just going to be chilling out on the sofa. I'm sat on the floor because I felt like it. So there we go. I'll be honest with you, I would have been happy drawing anybody that wasn't an English club. You know, and I think it is going to be a fire tie between Tottenham and Man City when they play. But we had it last year, and I just think it's a bit more exciting to draw. You know, even if we'd have drawn Ajax, Juventus, Barcelona, I would have been happy drawing any of those lot, as long as it meant that we didn't have to face, you know, Man United, Tottenham, and Man City, either of those guys. Save that for a little bit later on, either if you get to the semi-final or if you get to the final. Imagine an all-English final. The potential's there to do it. The potential there is now the pathways have been set so that whatever happens, if English teams do well, you could set up an all-English final, but that is getting way ahead of ourselves. So the whole draw in its entirety, I'll go through the whole thing that I've got up here on my iPad. You got Ajax versus Juventus, and I think that is going to be an excellent tie. Apart from our own ties, obviously as a Liverpool fan, that is the one that I'm going to be looking out for the most, because I think it'll be a really exciting game. Seeing how Ajax took it to Real Madrid, seeing Juventus come back against Atletico Madrid with obviously the power of Cristiano Ronaldo, I think that could be set up to be a really, really great set of fixtures. Then it's Liverpool versus FC Porto. Obviously, a lot of people turn around, and, you know, admittedly, Porto are looked at as the weakest team in this current standings. But I never take any game for granted in the Premier League, whether it's coming up against Man City or coming up against Cardiff or Huddersfield, somewhere lower down the league. And I certainly don't take it for granted against FC Porto. I think, yes, over 2 legs last year, we played FC Porto. We think we won 5-0 in 1 leg or something like that. And we just went 5-0 on the whole 2 legs as well. It's a different year. It's a new year. It's a new competition. You know, it's just, for me, I look at it like it's a brand new fixture. Not the fact that we played them before, we know what they can bring to us, but I don't know what they can bring to us this year. They've obviously gotten to this stage on merit, so they deserve to be at this stage. They are not going to be a pushover, in my opinion. That's just my opinion anyway. The other tie, Tottenham versus Man City, as I said before, I think that is going to be an absolute... I think that could be fireworks in that one. Man City fans and people that are looking at, obviously, from the outside looking in, will look at that and say, Man City are going to blow Tottenham away. And they could. But Tottenham have been really good in this competition. Dortmund could not put a goal past Tottenham. Dortmund have been on fire in the Bundesliga. They've got some very talented players in there. They seem to be playing very, very good football. But they could not put a goal past Tottenham, and Tottenham beat them 4-0 over 2 legs, 3-0 in one, 1-0 in the other. Tottenham are going to be no joke, and I don't think that Tottenham will be a pushover in this competition. Regardless of how they're doing in the Premier League, they're not going to be a pushover in this competition. Man City have been smacking teams left, right and centre. I don't believe that would happen here, but you never know. It's Man City. They could do it. They absolutely could do it. And then the final fixture, which again, I think it's going to be an absolutely exciting one, is Manchester United versus Barcelona. Massive, massive tie, a difficult tie for both teams. Not just for Man United, that is a difficult tie for both teams. Barcelona coming off, who have they just beaten in the, Lyon. They've just beaten Lyon. I think they may have won like 4-1 or 5-1 on aggregate or something like that. Man United pulling off one of the comebacks of the Champions League so far against PSG, one of the teams with obviously the name players like your Neymar, you've got your Mbappe, you've got so many big players in there, but those two being the most prominent ones, and they knocked them out. I think they knocked them out on away goals, but that doesn't matter. They knocked them out. It was literally almost dead set and buried that Man United were going to go out to PSG, and they didn't. They pulled it off, and now they're going to come up against Barcelona, another big team, another big test for both of these teams. I think that United will absolutely pose Barcelona a lot of questions, the same way that Barcelona, you know what Barcelona are bringing. It's just Barcelona always bring it, and it's very, very difficult to stop. You know what Messi can do, and he just does it. He's just different classes, Messi. But Man United will bring the fire against Barcelona, and they'll be looking at this now thinking, we're going to have to go there. We're going to have to absolutely, they're at home first as well. So they're going to have to absolutely go for it. Now, the other reason I want to keep an eye on that fixture in particular is because that is our pathway as Liverpool fans. If we manage to get past FC Porto over 2 legs, we will face the winner of Manchester United versus Barcelona. So, regardless of what happens between those two, those are 2 very big, tough teams to come up against in the next round if we make it there. I am not getting ahead of ourselves at the moment. Now, what I'm going to try and do is do a little bit of a prediction for what I think is going to happen and not necessarily goal-wise, I'm just going to give you a prediction of who I think is going to go through. Now, Ajax versus Juventus, massive tie, and Ajax will pose a lot of questions and they will have a lot of self-belief. After what they managed to do against Real Madrid, I think they've won it, 4 out of the last 5 times this competition. They haven't made it through to the quarterfinals this year. Massive. They are missing Cristiano Ronaldo hugely. But who has Cristiano Ronaldo? Juventus. Now, Juventus, they will be defensively solid. They will be defensively difficult, especially when you go back to their place in Juventus. When you go back there, that is where they're going to make it difficult. They made it difficult for Atletico Madrid, another team who are known as a defensive unit and a very defensively solid team, tore them apart with Cristiano Ronaldo. Ajax are going to have to come up with something. I think they have the home tie first. They are going to have to set a marker in the home tie against Juventus so that when they go and visit, when they play away from home, they may have an answer or they may have a chance. They're going to have to lay down a marker like they did against Real Madrid. They're going to have to bring the fire. I keep saying that, but they are. They're going to have to bring the fire. Who do I think is going to go through? I actually think it's going to be tight, but I think Juventus will sneak through on this one. I think it'll be a lot tighter than people may imagine, but I think that Juventus will just about go through. Now, Liverpool versus FC Porto, Liverpool being my team, obviously I like to believe that Liverpool will go through. We've got the history about playing them last year, and we comprehensively beat them last year. I don't know what FC Porto are offering this year, but a lot of people talk about their scoring goals and they look defensively solid. So it looks like a different proposition this year. I think that one of their standout players, I think he's signed a pre-contract or something like that with Real Madrid next year, Eder Militao. So we'll see what happens. Absolutely see what happens in this one. But I think with the strength of the performance that we put in at home against Bayern Munich, while there were no goals scored, we managed to keep a clean sheet there. I feel on the back of the performance that we've just had against Bayern Munich at the Allianz, and we win 3-1, I think that we can go through and we will make it through to the semi-finals of this competition. Then you've got Tottenham versus Manchester City. My gut turns around and says it's going to be Man City, just because they are an extremely powerful team right the way through the whole squad. I think Tottenham can upset this tie. I think they are very capable of doing it, and I think that this will be a lot closer than people think. I think with the home leg being at Wembley, obviously Tottenham's home ground, I think that Tottenham are going to have to, again, like Ajax, they're going to have to take advantage of being at home, make that place a cauldron, and make it really difficult for Man City to go there. Otherwise, Man City will just take over at the Etihad, and they'll do what they've been doing to teams at the Etihad all season long, beating them. And that is unfortunately what I imagine seeing. I think it will be a little bit closer than people may imagine, but I think the second leg being Man City at the Etihad, I think that Man City will take over and they will then go through to the semi-finals as well. And the last but not least, Manchester United versus Barcelona. Man United are a different proposition now than when they were under Mourinho. Barcelona still are defensively susceptible, but Barcelona have a ridiculous front line. This all depends on how Man United set up. If they go with Rashford leading the line, then I think that they've got a better chance than if they go with Lukaku leading the line. Lukaku gives you an option, but he should be an option from the bench. Rashford should be the starter in this tie. He will be able to go through and power through that Barcelona defence if he's set up properly. If they don't set up properly, and then obviously the second leg being at the Nou Camp, Barcelona can suffocate you. How do I see it going down? Gonna be controversial. I think that Manchester United will go through, and I think that they will go through I think Man United can go through on away goals on this one. I don't know what the scoreline would be. Obviously, no one does. But I think that they can take this tie to Barcelona, and I think that Man United will end up going through. But these are just predictions. Remember that. They're only predictions. I don't want Man United to go through, but that's just how I see it. Anyway, let me know how you think this draw has gone for every team involved in there, whether you're a Liverpool fan, Tottenham, Man City, Man United, whoever, Barcelona, whoever you support. Let me know what you think in the comments below. How do you think it's going to go down? Who do you think is going to make it to the semi-finals? Let me know in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, please do like it and subscribe if you are new around here. Thank you ever so much for watching, as always, and special guest is now sleeping. I'll catch you later.